Hey guys, what's up? This is Sandman Overture. This is probably the coolest comic. I'm gonna say the best art in a comic that I have seen in the past several years. Seriously, this stands out in the artwork more than any other comic that I've seen in several years. Yeah, there's a lot of like really good drawings in a comic, but this is amazing art. This is by the writings by Neil Gaiman. The other person that says here, J.H. Williams III, I don't know if that's the artist or not. This is the fourth issue of Sandman Overture. Sandman Overture is the continuation of the Sandman series. The Sandman series is about the Sandman. He's a character among a bunch of characters called the Endless. And the Endless characters are basically, they are sort of like incarnations of immortality. You know, there's one called Dream, and Sandman is Dream, and he controls dreams and people's dreams, and he's like the Lord of Dreams. And then there's one Death, his sister. She's Death. She's the Lord of Death or whatever. And I'll just show you what the characters look like. I just like noticed this one. This is pretty much Morpheus, Dream, and he's very like cool, dreamy. This is Death. She's very that's kind of how she's drawn. And then there's a bunch of the other ones. Those are the two that really stand out. The coolest characters are Dream, Death, and Delirium. And then there's like a few of the other ones, but those three are like, those ones stand out. And there's lots of other characters in it also. That are not Endless. They're also really cool. There's a Raven in there who's really cool. And let me just show you some of this Overture stuff. Now, the Sandman came out for a while. It came out with 10 trade paperbacks, and all of them are great. And they're considered one of the best comic works of all time by Neil Gaiman. And it really put Neil Gaiman on the map. He wrote a lot of other stories, but his Sandman, I think that's the one he's really known for the most. And people will know about it. So if you mention Sandman to a person who likes comics, they probably read it and they probably know about it, unless you might have read it also. So if you're a comic fan and you know about it, right, and you click on the video, so hey, so check it out. So this is Sandman Overture. This is number 4. It doesn't really matter because the art is amazing. I'm just going to show you some of the art. It starts off with the Constantine commercial. This is when Constantine was on NBC. Okay, let me show you some of the art that's amazing in here. This is not your comic book art. This is really cool. And it's just like, as you can see, like there's no panels or anything, right? There's just art in it. And these writings here, it's Dream talking, Morpheus talking, when it's kind of captioned like this. And whenever it's like these wavy black boxes, right? That's Morpheus talking. And that's kind of how he talks in these wavy black boxes. These are all the different characters that are in that. That's a picture of Morpheus. There's a lot of other characters, and the characters come and go in this series. They're in some of the stories, they're not in others. Really well drawn. I just gotta say that if you like art, like even if you're not into comics or graphic novels, if you just like art, the story here is really good and the art is amazing. It's really amazing. They're so collectible. Like these are cool, just like coffee table books. You could just put these out and people will just like flip through them and they will get amazed how good the art is. Like, and I don't even know, like, how the hell? The thing is, I've never seen a comic with this quality of art. It's not only really good, it's original. It looks like, it's sort of like modern contemporary art. And then there's like some fantasy realism and stuff, or just a lot of fantasy stuff. As you can see, like there's characters and stuff there. It's amazing stuff. And this is basically the 4th issue. I have the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd somewhere. And here is, you can see like Morpheus talking, and the various people talking, and that's like the story. I will have to be honest, the story doesn't make too much sense, but it's well written, it's cool, and the art is amazing. I'm not even sure I understand what the story is, and I really think they did this book because of the art and not the story as much. It's sort of more of the same kind of, you know, story that was in the rest of the Sandman series. But as you can see, like, there's no panels. Like, each page is different. Each page is like an original work of art, totally different than the page before. And as you can see, like, the panels are these wavy panels, these lines separating all of the other art in here. So you got these wavy panels, you've got these abstract, you can see, like, you really can't follow a story here, right? It's not really a story you're gonna follow. It's just like you read it and you try to absorb it, but it's just so beautifully designed. And it really is it is like more of the Sandman series. It is more of that, you know, because it's not just like they're like, okay, let's continue a successful series. And no, this is good. This is really well, because, like, okay, the Sandman series, I think after trade paperback number 8, I found 8, 9, and 10 kind of iffy. Like, I think they ran out of ideas, but the first 7 or 8 were very, very good, and the last 2 or 3 were just a little bit not really well drawn. They felt like they got rid of ideas. Look at that one. Look at this dude here with his card, holding a card. I mean, it's just, and that's like Morpheus in the back, and then he's talking here. Very abstract. The story is told in a very abstract way, and here they are, like, dealing a bunch of some kind of, oh, look at that, melting clocks. They're like dealing cards, some kind of tarot cards, some kind of fortune telling. The dude looks like, you know, it looks like he can tell fortunes. He looks like a wizard. I'll show you what that looks like. And then if you close up, you can see the different. So wherever there is an art, there's just patterns. Amazing stuff. Good amount of quality, like content and stuff like that. And it's just amazing stuff. And then this is like this is one of the Sandman trade paperbacks, and it's a commercial for it. The Neil Gaiman Sandman. This is the first volume. So if you're looking for the first volume of Sandman, that's before this whole overture happened. It looks like that. It was good. Honestly, like, I read the first volume of Sandman, but I couldn't get into it. I didn't think it was that great. And every time I was in a comic book store, I keep looking up at the thing, and it's like, they're always like, Sandman, the greatest comic book of all time, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of couldn't get into it. And then I said, okay, whatever, I'll read the second one. I'll give it another shot, you know? After I read the second one, I was into it. I read the rest of them, and they were just really good. And they're not really that expensive. There's 10 of them. Honestly, it is a little bit expensive. There are 10 of them, and they're like a little bit over $20 each. So you're spending a little over $200 for the whole collection, but it is 10 books. It's like a book. It's you're paying for like a whole bookshelf of books. The content is a lot. You'd love, like, reading it and everything. And so the next one comes out, and it's this one. This is number 5. I only have 4, 5, and 6. This is number 5, and you can see, like, right away, this one's also by Neil Gaiman, H.W. Williams III, and this one's also by Dave Stewart. And I think that's I actually went to school with this dude, Dave Stewart. And oh man, you could just see, like, the amazing art in here. This is chapter 5. Look how that's written. Chapter 5, like the whole page. And what's cool, what's different about this is that it's written page by page. You know, it's not really panel by panel, but there are panels, but it's also the whole page. Because each page has a different artwork. And you can see that. It's like the story is different page by page. So the story doesn't just, like, go from one panel to another, or even one page to another. It's told in such an abstract way. Look at that. And when you look close up, you can see how, like, the panels are just all over the place. It's such an original thing. This is really good. If you guys care about art in your comic books, check out Sandman Overture. Amazing art, amazing work. They're not that expensive. They were $3.99, and it does say this came out in July 2015. I think I got, it's focusing. Yeah, July 2015, and like the next one came out November. It went from July to November and whatever, and I'm not even sure, February 15. They started in February, and then it went to July. I don't think these came out monthly. I remember these coming out like randomly. Like sometimes they come out and sometimes they wouldn't. See these characters, this is like a bird creature. All of the characters are sentient, whether they're an animal or a person or some kind of like spirit or being. Look at this cat. Isn't that cool? See, it's like a person cat. Like almost like half human, half cat. And look at the ships and stuff. Isn't that amazing? Jeez. And like the next panel is like space and darkness. And like people talking, but you know who it's talking because see what they do is like, that's Dream talking, Morpheus, right? That's his name, Dream. Morpheus Dream, that's his name. That's somebody else talking. So everyone has their own bubble. So you know like who's talking in what bubble. See that? There's another woman also. And it's just like these spacey, cool scenes. And I really think this is, like the next one is just dark. It's just like a dark panel. Things are upside down, you know? And the story it tells is so cool. I remember like wanting, like when these came out, I was just like, whoa. I was just like, whoa, this is amazing because when these came out, I was just like going to a comic book store. I'm like, oh, let's see what they have. Sometimes they have something, sometimes they have nothing. You know, there's new comics everywhere, and some of them suck, and some of them are okay, and some once in a while they're good and whatever. But, you know, but then this comes out, and it's just like totally amazing. You know, and it's just like a continuing. Now, the thing about the story is it's really an abstract story. It is very, very difficult to follow the story. So I would say like but the writing is good. I guess you could try to follow the story. Most of it is dream talking, which is cool because a lot in the Sandman stories, the original 10 trade paperbacks, you don't get a lot of dream talking. You get some of dream talking, but then you get a lot of different other characters talking. And yeah, look at that. And that's pretty cool. And that's like more characters. The characters are cool. Like it's a woman, bird with wings and stuff. There's these people, there's demons, there's like the devil and all these demons and these things and whatever is in here. It's just like a robot. You know, and I'll show you the other one. I don't know if there's any more pages of anything in here. Sometimes they have cool stuff on the other pages, and sometimes they don't. Filth. I heard the Filth was cool by Grant Morrison. His stuff is amazing. But it's I don't know. I didn't read it. It was a little bit edgy. And yeah. Okay. So, and this is Sandman. I was trying to figure out which one this was, and like here there's a little 6 there. So I guess this is number 6. And this came out November of 2015. So you can still get these. I don't know if there's, you know what, if you want to get these, I recommend see if there's a trade paperback out instead of the floppies, because then you have to get a whole bunch of them. But what's cool about getting floppies is you get a cover, good solid, like cool cover on all of them. Damn. Of course they have like commercials of other things, but this is what I'm looking at. Really cool. Like, and it's consistent. Like when these were coming out and I was just looking at them, they're just like amazing to read because they're consistent. They're beautifully done. Look at these like circles. What does that mean, you know? And look at this character. She's so weird. And then there's like, here's the cat again, drawn differently. Morpheus. Isn't that amazing? And it's just like, look at this character. Isn't that weird? with the eye in her forehead and the ankh, sort of. It was like a weird shaped ankh. And then the panels are so far out. Like these things are the round panel, and then it's like this beam, right, from this solar thing, like the sun, but each beam between the beams is a panel. And you get all these different characters and creatures talking, and what they have to say is so interesting because everyone's like super smart in this. Really well written. Neil Gaiman, man, he's a really good writer and everything. And as you can see, like, yeah, there's like a whole city behind him. And like now it's like, it seems like all of the pages are like that, a circle and then a beast, like sunbeam, and then like panels on them. I don't know if the next one's gonna be like that. Isn't that cool? And then like the next one is like totally different with these like women characters and stuff just drawn. It looks like just modern art. It's just so abstract. You know, and what's cool about with this kind of abstract art is the art itself, the way it's drawn has meaning. You know, if it's drawn a certain way, because it evokes an emotion, you know, this makes you feel a certain way. And it's the story it wants to tell. It's trying to tell a story. And it's telling that story by making you feel like a certain way, by evoking an emotion. Not just like with the words and the story, but visually. And the way the panels are, like every page, you have to read it differently. Sometimes the panels are like all the way across like this. Sometimes they're like wavy, you know, sometimes there's like a solar thing happening. These pictures are cool. Look at that. Just some kind of like woman, specter, spirit, ghost thing. And oh no. Yeah. And then there's like, I love how this is drawn. I mean, geez. You know what? Like, I remember like reading this and I really didn't think the story was that great. Not that it wasn't great. The story was just good. The writing was good because Neil Gaiman just knows how to write. But the story, but just every single page is a visual experience. This is how more comics should be written. And you know, every comic is written the same way, like a black page. I mean, come on. You know, every comic is written the same way, with panels, with this and with that. Look how abstract and original the way this is written. They just don't follow any norm. There's no panels. There's some panels, but they're just like all over the place and they do whatever they want. They're like different shape panels, and like this whole page is like outer space, some kind of nebula, and this one is some kind of people interacting with each other. And they're like, there's no voices. I step into nothing, you know, like look at that. And what a cool experience. You know, this is the difference between like, this is sort of like the laser show of comics. I mean, it's the difference between like the novel, where like you're reading a comic and it feels like you're reading a novel, or like you're reading a comic and it feels like a visual experience. This thing is a visual experience. This is a laser show in a comic book. This is unlike any other comic book I've ever seen. There are no other comic books written like this. It was original. It was cool that it was Sandman Overture. This is how the Sandman story started. That's his mask. He has a bag of sand and he like blows sand on someone and makes them go to sleep or something. And then there's like this like charm thing. I don't remember what it does. But yeah. And then he's in this circle of these runes all around the circle. And that's where he is. You know? It's just amazing. I'm not sure how many of these came out. I think these came out. There's some more in the back. Like there's like more. I think there's just like an additional part of the story, just a few more panels, just to, I guess, have a little bit of a continuation of the story. And yeah, man. Yeah, Sandman Overture, man. Let me know what you guys think. Did you like that, the visuals and stuff like that? Let me know what you think. Let me know if you also read it, if you read Sandman, what you thought of Overture, if you read Overture or anything like that. Let me know what you think. And subscribe to my channel and like my video. I will talk to you guys in another video. Take care.